con mucha más información. Hasta entonces, pasen un excelente resto de su día.
You're watching K34.
Good morning and welcome into today's edition of Good Morning Vail. I'm your host, Ross Leonard. It is Thursday, the 20th of March. There's a lot of basketball happening today, but on Good Morning Vail, we have Thea Noble scheduled to come in today with Chasing Rabbits. We also have Miss Rocky Mountain in the studio today. We're going to have a chat about what it's like going for that Miss Colorado title here and much more on today's show. Grab that cup of coffee. Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
This weather report is sponsored by Grand Hyatt Vail. Escape the cold and embrace the après-ski vibes at the Grand Hyatt Spa, where you'll find tranquility rooted in traditional alpine wellness.
Welcome to the TVA Weather Center. On this Thursday morning, we had a beautiful cotton candy sunrise this morning. We'll see what happens today. Lots of clouds expected, but today, 16 degrees to start the day at 8 a.m. We'll see a high of 38 degrees with a 20% chance of some snow with all those clouds coming in. Those winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, pretty decent today, so be prepared if you're heading out on the mountain. Into the hourly temperatures here, things really warm up around noon to 35 degrees. Still pretty cloudy out there before coming down to 36 or up to 36 at 4 p.m. and then down to 31 at 8 p.m. Lots of cloud coverage expected today and chilly temperatures. Into the I-70 corridor, Eagle, high of 44 today, Avon 41, Vail 38, Denver, a high of 59 degrees today. So if you are traveling, please give yourself plenty of time and space out there on the roads. And tonight, a low of 21 degrees with a 60% chance of more snow showers tonight. That sunset at 7:18 p.m. Winds still coming from the west, 10 to 15 miles per hour tonight into tomorrow and the rest of the weekend here. Friday, a high of 39, a low of 29, and then another storm rolls in on Saturday with a wintry mix expected with a high of 41 on Saturday. Sunday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 42, and then rolling into next week, those temperatures start coming up into the 50s. It feels like spring skiing is upon us here. Speaking of skiing and snowboarding, Beaver Creek's got 24 lifts open, 174 trails. That's 98% of terrain. And Beaver Creek opens at 8:30 every day with 1 fresh inch in the last 24 hours, 5 in the last 2 days, bringing the season total to 223. And we still got a base depth of 65 inches up at Beaver Creek. And you know we're all about that base, no treble here. Vail Mountain, 30 lifts open, 274 trails. That's 98% of terrain. Vail Mountain's got 5 inches in the last 2 days, bringing the season total to 284 and a 75-inch base over at Vail. So we are rocking and rolling with a couple weeks left in the ski and snowboard season, and we will be right back with the rest of the show.
Lens of the Day is brought to you by Eyepieces of Vail and Goggle Bar.
I love that jingle because I love getting to talk about ski stuff first thing in the morning to inspire you to get out there and have a great day on the mountain. Well, this morning we're going to talk about the Oakley Line Miner. Now, this is a great goggle because Oakley has a very unique prism system within their lenses, and what this does is allows one goggle to cover a broad spectrum of light. Now, as we take a look at this goggle, you can see that it's going to have that rose-based tint starting in that goggle lens. Then you're going to see those other colors come through. This is the Prism Argon Iridium, and so it's going to have that pink tint to start, which is going to help you see as that light gets a little bit flat, but then you can see those greens, those blues coming through, and that's going to allow you to see while the light is nice and sunny out there. So this is a great goggle. If you're someone who doesn't like to change your goggle lenses, just have one across the board that's going to kind of work in all conditions. It's going to be a little bit dark on those very cloudy, snowy days. This is also an OTG goggle. You can see that cutout right there, allowing your glasses arms to fit into this goggle. Now, if you're someone who doesn't like to ski or snowboard with your glasses, well then we recommend you go over to see our friends at Eyepieces of Vail, as they've got some great inserts that you can put inside the goggle, and that way you can always see, so you can always ski or ride. Now we want to thank Eyepieces of Vail for bringing you this Lens of the Day report. If you're making your way out there to enjoy the mountain, make sure that you can see perfectly, that way you can ski perfectly, and to do so, go see our friends at Eyepieces. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
Hi, it's Danielle Turner, the General Manager at TV8 Vail. It's with a heavy heart that I announce that TV8 will cease its operations. We invite you to tune in beginning Monday, March 24th, as we kick off a 5-day celebration of Good Morning Vail, culminating in our finale episode on Friday, March 28th. Join us as we say goodbye to some of our beloved guests and relive decades of nostalgic history. And on behalf of our TV8 family, I want to thank the members of the Vail Valley for allowing us to come into your homes every morning. We will miss you.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
This show looks at anything that has an engine and a story told by the owners. This is a scooter. Have you had it the whole time?
I have not. It's actually the third time I've owned the car.
Sell, regret, sell, regret. To the actual prototype GT40, I got to sit in that car.
Oh, I gotta get me one of these, man.
We've got all the muscle, the speed, and the stories.
I got stage 4 cancer. A bunch of friends came together and decided that this thing needed to get done then. A lot of friends came together and made this thing happen.
Hey, if it has an engine and a story, you're going to hear about it on rides. Almost every vehicle, doesn't matter what walk of life you're from, there's some tie to your past.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Joining us now, we have a special guest. We have Gabrielle Burns. She is Miss Rocky Mountain going for Miss Colorado. Gabrielle, how we doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. So tell us all about this journey. How did it start? Where are you from? Kind of tell us your story here.
Absolutely. So I'm actually from Parker, Colorado, but I currently go to school at CU Boulder.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. So the Miss Colorado opportunity, I really started with my coworker who told me that I exhibited great leadership qualities and that I should look into it. So once I did, I started getting as involved as I possibly could, and it's been one of my greatest passions ever since.
You sound a little surprised that you're a leader. Is that you didn't know that, right?
It's nice to have other people recognize it, for sure.
For sure, for sure. And so we're coming into it right now, right? The Miss Colorado's in June, right? So you're kind of gearing up for it. What goes into this? How can people help and support you? But what are you working on right now?
Yeah, so every single one of the delegates has what's called a community service initiative. So for every single person, you each work on something that you're very passionate about. for me, I decided I wanted my CSI, my community service initiative, to be what I called Beyond Voice.
Okay.
And that is an initiative where I advocate and raise awareness and fundraise for individuals in rural school districts in Colorado who are nonverbal and who need communication devices.
How amazing. How amazing. So speech pathology, is that what you're studying right now?
Yes, it is.
Amazing, amazing. What made you kind of get into that? Is there a personal experience, or what made you kind of go after that one?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I severely struggled with what are called motor tics. And you can think of it, most people would recognize it as Tourette syndrome. However, motor tics are a way less severe version of Tourette syndrome, but still impacted me very heavily with the way I was able to communicate with other people. So I started having speech develop in my life, in my school life, and my mom's also a speech pathologist, so she helped at home as well.
That's amazing. Shout out moms out
Shout
there.
out,
Thanks, Mom. That's amazing. What have you kind of learned on this journey, kind of going into speech pathology and helping people? What have you kind of learned?
Yeah, you know, there are so many great things that you can kind of pull from this, but one of the biggest ones I would say, I have such a big heart for others. It's one of my biggest drives and passions, and I really find that kind of seeking speech pathology, working further with Beyond Voice, working further with the Miss Colorado opportunity, I kind of find out new things about my passions every single day. So it's been quite the journey, but it's been something that I seriously never could replace, and it's just made me such a better person for it.
That's amazing. And so with Beyond Voice, where can people go for more information or to support? How is there social medias? How can people get involved with
Yeah. So I have my own social media. It's miss.gabrielleburns, but also we have a spot fund. So what a spot fund is it's a platform where you can raise money to do certain things. For me, right now, we're assisting with Elbert County way down in Elizabeth, Colorado. They're out in the rural school district, we're assisting them right now. I'm close with one of the SLP's, speech language pathologists,
of course,
there. And so we're really working, getting communication devices and advocating for those kids in those school districts.
That's amazing. That's very powerful. What's kind of the fun part of this?
You know, there are actually so many fun parts about it. I would say meeting the kids is just like absolutely life-changing. They are kids. Like kids will be kids. And some of the things that they'll ask you, or just getting to interact with them, being like, oh my gosh, so nice to meet you. Who's your favorite Barbie doll? It's like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad you asked me this question. Duh, it's Raquel.
Duh.
Obviously.
Obviously. Yeah, come on.
But I would say getting to meet these kiddos, making those connections, it's something that started my heart for it. And I truly believe if I was a little kid struggling with this, and having someone who was struggling with the same thing in a leadership role literally would have changed my life.
For sure. That's so amazing to kind of get out there and help these people. What's going on with the competition here? Where are we at in that? When's it happening? What can you do to help out?
So it's coming up. It's very close. It's going to be June 12th through the 14th. And those include preliminaries and then also those final events as well. So we're getting pretty close. We just had a St. Patrick's Day parade in Denver, which is so much fun. So we have a couple more small events like that, and then we kick it right in gear with the competition in June.
That's amazing. So I understand you're going to be dancing as well. That's one of the skills you have here.
Yes, I am.
Tell me a little bit about your background in that. Do you have your routine set? What's going to go into that one?
Yes. So I've actually been dancing since I was 3. I danced ballet, jazz, tap, all the things. And then in high school, I started doing like dance team stuff as well. And I'm actually minoring in it.
Okay,
in
awesome.
College.
Okay, amazing.
But I grew up watching Dancing with the Stars with my grandma, and it's one of my most fond memories. And so when I got to college, I was like, I've kind of exhausted all other dance forms. Like, I want something new.
Right.
And I decided to start doing competitive ballroom dancing.
Amazing.
Thank you. And I now teach it too.
Amazing.
Which is the coolest thing ever. So I'm actually going to be doing a cha-cha for Miss Colorado. Very, very fringe outfit, very bright colors. So I'm excited.
I love that. Can you talk a little bit, Gabrielle, about like the camaraderie that goes into this? Like, I understand you're very friends with some of the people that came before you that are coming behind you, but like, what's the camaraderie like in this kind of Miss America, Miss Colorado?
Yeah, I have always been a person who really, really loved getting to know different girlfriend groups. And I think Miss Colorado was just the perfect opportunity for me to do that. One of my very best friends I met through the Miss Colorado opportunity, and she lives in Dallas right now, but she and I are so close, and that is a relationship of mine that I truly treasure, and I believe that we're going to be friends forever. So to have met these women who are just as driven, just as motivated, just as passionate about different issues as I am really brings together that camaraderie aspect, because we're all striving and we're all motivated for the same thing. So it kind of makes a common ground.
That's
there.
awesome, kind of building a sisterhood there. So this is Good Morning Vail, and it is Miss Colorado. What's kind of your background in skiing or snowboarding or in the mountains? What do you like to do out here?
I love hiking.
Okay.
Hiking is one of my absolute favorite things to do. While I am in Colorado, I have a goal to hike all of the 14ers. It's a hefty list, and I haven't gotten there yet to all of them, but hiking has been it's just a huge therapeutic aspect for me, just of life, and especially in school. I'm up at CU Boulder, I said, so the Flatirons are right there. It's the perfect opportunity to go outside. I have snowboarded before. Am I good at it? Absolutely not.
I think that's a lot of us out here. A lot of people, it's a tough thing to do. So that's totally fine. Gabrielle, anything else I should have asked you? Anything else people should know either about you or your journey here?
I am just super excited. If people are looking for a way to get involved or to donate or to advocate, please, like I said, you can go to my spot fund, you can reach out to me. You can also go to misscolorado.org, and that's going to have a lot of different information. But I truly am so happy to be here today. So
amazing.
Thank you for having
me. And then one last
me.
time, how can people support you? Can we watch in June? How can people get involved?
Oh yeah, so our competition this year is actually going to be at DU. So if you're looking to become involved, or you're looking to kind of see different aspects of Miss Colorado, or even just come watch, absolutely please get tickets to go to DU. It's the same thing. It's going to be at that misscolorado.org website.
Awesome. Gabrielle, thanks so much for coming in early this morning.
Thank you so
Best
much.
of luck in these next couple months. You've got
Thank you.
this. And thanks for just doing great work out there and helping other people. That's kind of what it's all about, right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. And we will be right back with the rest of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Ready to power up for summer? Whether you hike, bike, golf, or just want to feel great, get ready for summer with Mountain Recreation. Sign up for our Power Up for Summer promo and get 4 personal training sessions, a nutrition consultation, and exclusive recovery group access, all for $250 at the Gypsum Rec Center. Register by March 24th for April sessions at mountainrec.org or the Gypsum Rec Center front desk. Mountain Recreation. Active, healthy, together.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
we're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No. Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
Each week on the Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss the Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
Good morning, Vail.
Technology is getting kind of crazy, but also kind of awesome. Up next, we have a look at a company called Shrunk 3D that's shrinking things. Let's take a look.
Photography meets 3D printing with Shrunk 3D, which is an event booth similar to a photo booth, but instead of a 2D image, you will be getting a 3D print of yourself, similar to what Nick has. And Nick is actually the owner and operator of the Shrunk 3D booth here in Colorado, which just happens to be the first one in our state. So Nick, thank you so much for greeting us here today and showing off Shrunk 3D. I'm so excited to learn all about it. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for interviewing me and the opportunity.
Absolutely. It's a very cool concept. We have a bunch of images here on display, and today we're going to get to learn all about Shrunk 3D. You are actually holding a little figure of yourself there, which I think is very cool. But before we kind of get into some of the specifics, can you give us an overview of what Shrunk 3D is?
So Shrunk 3D is the world's first mobile 3D scanning photo booth. And we have about 100 cameras in there, and within 2 seconds we take 200 pictures, and then we use those to create a 3D image, and we send those to state-of-the-art 3D printers. Now, we're not talking about your home 3D printers, we're talking about professional-grade HP printers, and they are sintered nylon, so they're very, very robust. Now, I've worked in the 3D printing field for about 10 years in scanning and printing technologies, and I made these, and when I first started my career, they were made out of ground-up gypsum, so wallboard material, and if you drop them, they'd shatter into a million pieces, and nobody wants that. So we've now reached a point where the scanning technology has converged with the printing technology, and it's gotten to the point where you now have something usable. The resolution's good, the strength is good, and most importantly is the 3D scanning process. You no longer have to be a top certified technician. Anybody can do this, and it's really just a button click, and the system Shrunk's built has made it really, really easy and simple to filter people in and out. I used to chase people around with handheld scanners for like 3 hours, and they'd sneeze, I'd have to start over. And forget pets, man. Everybody wanted their pet scanned, and they just moved too much, so it never worked. But here, if you can keep your pet still for 2 seconds, you can immortalize them forever as a 3D print.
Have those special keepsakes that, like you said, you can include the whole family, including pets, the little ones. And it really is such a cool, unique, and new kind of technology that Nick mentions with all this 3D printing, that you get to keep these little shrunk figures of yourself to capture those moments forever. Nick, why, I know you're kind of focused on Denver and the West. Why are you choosing this region? What brought you out here and made you kind of focus on the mountains and the west of Colorado?
So Shrunk is an event-centric business, and with all the events that the ski resorts do, I figured it would be prime territory, and I'm a big skier myself, so to be able to work and live in the mountains, there's not that many opportunities for 3D printing, 3D scanning jobs up here, so I kind of created my own that fits into the ecosystem of event planning out here.
And it really does allow you for that flexibility to get out in the mountain, to travel to some of the events, like you said, at the resort or at some of the different towns, and just get out and about and share Shrunk 3D with all of our state here in Colorado. Now, let's get into some of the specific. You're holding a figure of yourself right there. Are there different sizes, can you do different movements, different poses? What's the process like when somebody goes inside the booth, and then what are kind of some of the options that they can choose from?
Yeah, so that's a great point. It's pretty freeform. As long as you can hold still for 2 seconds, you can do any pose you want, and that's a great advantage compared to the handheld scanners. So we offer sizes from 3 to 9 inches, and you can do what we call 2.5 people per scan. or per print, and that would be 2 adults and a child, or 2 adults and a pet. And if you have a larger family than that, we can take a 2D photo and then print you in separate statues, but scale them accordingly. So when displayed together, it would look like you're proportionally the right heights.
And I love that we have on display here a bunch of those figures. People can do anything they want with it, get creative. We see a wine topper. We also see a wedding cake topper. So you can really kind of customize this and get creative with the poses and stuff and really capture personalities, capture, you know, the essence of the people. Now, you did mention before this, Nick, that you kind of ship it out to get printed and all of that. What happens once the people leave the booth? What's the process after that, and maybe a time frame of when people would be getting their shrunk figures?
Yep, so we are 3 to 4 weeks for them to receive the box with their figure in the mail, and we like to say we're as fast as custom can be. So what is involved after they leave, behind the scenes, we're going through and taking those 200 pictures, and we're giving them to a human designer who touches everything up and makes it perfect. Okay. So for example, if you got shrunk with your ski poles and you ordered a 3-inch figure, if they scaled the ski poles appropriately, they would be way too weak and they'd break. So they have to go through and kind of maximize those. So printing at a 3-inch scale, they won't break and they'll be durable. So that's a pretty involved hands-on process. And after that, they get sent to a 3D printer, an HP printer in full color, and they go through a post-processing process, chemical smoothing, and then they ship right to your doorstep.
You'll get a box right to your doorstep, as Nick mentioned. And the cool thing, too, is that it captures small details such as tattoos. You know, if you're wearing glasses, it really does capture the smallest of details. It really does such a good job. And you'll be able to see on those figures that we'll be showing on screen. If anybody is interested in contacting you all, Nick, for events, how can they do so? Are there, you know, what types of events do you all do, and how can people reach out to you?
So you can reach out to us at denverwest@shrunk3d.com, or shrunk3d.com/denverwest will be our website address. And we do all events, kind of life milestones, graduations, sporting events, youth sporting. It's been very popular in Halloween parties, cosplay. The Denver Fan Expo should be a large one for us. We already have people on our Facebook page asking if we're going to be there, and yes, we will be there. So get your best cosplay costume out and get shrunk with it.
Awesome. And I know you also do name, image, likeness, you know, figures for athletes and stuff like that. Tell me a little bit about that before we wrap up.
Yeah, so we can launch an e-commerce store with an athlete's likeness. They sign an agreement with us, very simple, and we give them a percentage of the sales. So we issue them a monthly commission check, and they can go on and promote it to their fan base. And yeah, it's just a great way to immortalize your sporting moments.
Immortalize sporting moments, milestones, weddings, birthdays, graduations, you name it. You can get those 3D shrunken figures of yourself like Nick is holding here by visiting and booking the Shrunk 3D booth for your next event. Make sure to visit shrunk3d.com/denverwest. You'll find all the information there, as well as more details to contact Nick and his team. Nick, thank you so much. It's been awesome getting to learn all about Shrunk 3D, and I appreciate your time.
Likewise, appreciate your time.
We're going to take a short break, everybody, but we'll be back with more of the show after this. So stay tuned. We'll be back.
Good morning, Vail.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Morgan. I'm with Ron Byrne & Associates. And today I'd like to welcome you to Mine House and Mi Casa, a premier bed and breakfast right here at the base of Beaver Creek Mountain. Let's go inside.
This property is currently being run as a bed and breakfast with 20 bedrooms, all with ensuite bathrooms. Right now we are standing in Mi Casa, and next door we also have Mine House. A wonderful opportunity to own a turnkey hospitality business, but it's also an opportunity to own it as a private residence. It can be sold all as one or in individual pieces, however you choose.
So now that we've had a chance to show you these two amazing properties, Mi Casa and Mine House,
we would love the opportunity to show you in person. Give us a call.
The season starts when Nate Dogg, Trailer Tom, and friends have started the season in front of you.
There it is, the white ribbon of living.
And on that very first chair, two very familiar faces who've been in line for 2 days.
My name is Nate Dogg, Nate Doggggg.
My name is Trailer Tom.
Nate Nadler and Tom Miller live nearby.
I feared nothing but not getting first chair. Second chair nightmare. Yeah, second chair nightmare.
My goal is to continue to fight for this first chair as long as I'm physically able. First chair coming at us one more year.
Discover the perfect blend of style and performance in your eyewear at Eyepieces. With convenient locations in Vail Village, Lions Head, Beaver Creek, Edwards, Basalt, and Snowmass, Eyepieces is the destination for luxury eyewear and high-performance optics. From iconic brands to the latest in sport frames and snow goggles, we have the eyewear to match your mountain lifestyle. Plus, we offer prescription lens services, including eye exams, custom lenses, and prescription goggles for your mountain adventures. Visit us today to experience the art of vision. Eyepieces, serving the Vail Valley's vision needs for over 40 years.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome into Rugs Benedict here in Avon, Colorado. We are joined by Mandy Benedict herself. Mandy, how's the summer going here?
Fantastic. We're having a beautiful summer and some great new introductions in our store.
Yeah, I love this store. It's so beautiful and spacious in here, and it has everything you need. And we are starting with reclaimed wood right here. What do we got here?
So we have quite a few reclaimed options, which a lot of times are old barns, old buildings, things like that, factories, and they just have a really beautiful mountain style. So we have quite a few reclaimed options available in our store.
I love that. And do we know exactly where they came from?
A lot of the things will have, exactly where each thing came from. It depends on the size of the building or the size of the project too, because sometimes it'll use a few different buildings.
Yeah, but it's got that classic kind of Colorado look to it, right?
It does.
Awesome. And then we also have some siding, which can double down as flooring and ceilinging. And
we use wood actually for a lot of decorative spaces. So in my house, for example, we have like on the ceiling to just create interest. So you can do ceilings, you can do soffits, you can do decorative walls in your bar or game room, or even like behind your bed. So we do a ton of wood flooring and wood accent walls.
Love that. And did we invent ceilinging? Did I just come up with a new term for you?
You could have. We just call it, putting wood flooring on the ceiling or putting wood on the ceiling. So.
Yeah, and beautiful here, you can just kind of swipe through and kind of pick and choose here.
Yeah, they slide. We literally have thousands of options, but the thing that our design flooring team is great at is just finding the thing that's going to be most durable for you, fit the look that you're after, the price point you're after, whether you're going to have radiant heat or depends on the heating system and the humidification, all those things we take into account.
Love that. And these are just a few of the options, and you guys are known for just kind of a quick turnaround sometimes with the warehouse, but what's that kind of process like on your end?
So we do have quite a few things available that can be installed very quickly. We have all employee installers, a lifetime installation warranty, and we offer free estimates. So we'll come out to your house, figure out all of the things that would go into the project, offer a free estimate, and then work with sort of your time frame and schedule.
Love that. And I can just picture this as decoration, kind of just walls, floors, ceilings. Love it, love it. And then we also have area rugs here right behind us. What's going on here?
We do, Rugs Benedict. So we have to have some rugs here. We have just, again, hundreds of options of things that you can buy in, things for powder rooms, kitchens. You can do decorative staircases or coordinating family room, living room, dining room rugs. And you just come in and sort of flip through. It's kind of like flipping through a clothing rack where you can just explore all the different sizes, all the different colors, palettes, textures. We have a ton of variety in rugs.
Yeah, I love that. And rugs are kind of sometimes a centerpiece, and they're always just so memorable, right? Like I remember my childhood rug at home, right? So great options here. Any tips and tricks for people looking at these?
Just to come in, if you have any current color schemes or fabrics or things like that, bring some of those with you. People bring pillows, they bring, a piece of their drapery or something like that. And otherwise, people start with area rugs a lot. They'll sort of build their room around it if you're refurnishing.
Love that. Anything else I should ask you? Anything else you want to add here?
No, just come in and explore our beautiful space, and we have options for everyone.
Love that. Rugs Benedict, located here in Avon, Colorado, has all your needs. Come check them out this summer.
Good morning, Vail.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunity to points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point for this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that. And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger.
Coming at you from around the world. The biggest names in sports, entertainment, and business.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's no way. Exclusive access and one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, you guys really did some deep research.
I don't think we should give him any more information.
In depth with Graham Bensinger.
You know TV8 Vail has great local content, but did you know about our production services? Hire an expert to develop your website reel, commercials, live stream events, studio production, and more. If you can dream it, we can help you do it. TV8 delivers high-quality content in both English and Spanish. Contact us today to discuss your next project. Email Danielle at tv8vail.com or call 970-628-9881.
Good morning, Vail.
Today is National Orange and Lemon Day, and we have a fun recipe that uses an entire orange inside of a cake. Let's take a look at that recipe.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
You know, I love to follow all the TikTok trends on in regard to food and recipes.
Yep.
That's really the only thing I use it for. So I saw this whole viral orange blender cake, and I thought we have to absolutely try it. We have to try it. So I did read that it is important what type of orange that you pick because they have varying levels of sweetness, plus with like the seeds and the skin, you really want to use like a thinner skin.
Right.
So we're using a whole navel orange. These luckily
With
don't
very
have,
thick skin.
like I'd say
Kind of like you.
So,
You've got thick skin.
when it comes to working next to you, Kevin, I do. But if you check this out, you can kind of see that the skin is like I'd say it's thin to medium sized, right?
Right.
So we quartered it up, or you quartered it up.
I did.
Because you don't want the seed in it, because the seed actually creates a bitter taste to it.
Right.
And so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. But what you want to do is actually just throw all of the wet ingredients in the blender first, and that includes the orange.
All right,
so
I am the Robin to your Batman, so you tell me what.
The Robin to my Batman. So we've got 4 eggs sitting out at room temperature, and we've got them here in a Tupperware. So we're going to crack the 4 eggs into the blender, or you can do the oranges. It really doesn't matter. We're going to let Kevin go ahead and be the egg cracking
I'm the egg
master. And it's pretty great. And then it really, you can use self-rising flour, or you can use regular flour depending on what you have on hand. And I had regular flour, so that's what we're going to use with regular flour and baking powder.
Okay.
And then, we're cracking all the
4 eggs.
All 4
got the eggs.
Then we're going to throw in our orange. Now,
peel and all, just
toss it in there. Insane, right? I'm really excited about this.
I don't know about this, Kim.
It creates like a fun, like really citrusy flavor and texture. Then we've got lemon extract. We want to do about a teaspoon of the
lemon extract. Got it.
And then we also need to include oil, and that's like the basis of all of our wet ingredients. So you don't have to use the lemon extract, at least that's what I've been reading.
I just literally put it in, and you said, well, you don't have to use it.
But I heard it gives it a little bit more pizzazz when you're
we want to
tasting
pizzazz it up.
the flavors. So we
And
did
then
that,
oil.
and then we've got oil. I think we need to use about 3/4 of a cup of avocado oil, which I've never seen a cake made with avocado oil
Oh,
before,
yeah. I've seen an
but we're,
avocado cake one time.
So Kevin, no pressure, but it's got to be exact.
Yeah, I'm pretty darn good at this eyeballing thing.
I can tell. So we were putting that in there, and then we're going to blend it up, and then we'll do the the dry ingredients afterwards. Now, the key with the dry ingredients is apparently this is what all the TikTokers are saying.
This is what we've heard.
This is what we've heard. I do my research, but I can't say that I'm an expert and I've ever made this.
Oh no,
cake
let's
before.
just say you're an expert.
I'm an expert.
Let's just say it. Get it out there.
Kevin, between the two
Get
of
it
us,
out
I think
there.
we're going to get it done. So we're going to go ahead and just blend this. We're just going to do a nice little medium blend.
Okay.
See what happens. Looking great, looking great.
Very loud.
It is very loud. So next thing we're going to add 2 cups of all-purpose flour.
Okay.
And then 3/4 of a tablespoon of baking powder. Looking good. Plus sugar. We need to add our sugar. Sugar is always key when it comes to the cake. All right, let's see how we blended. Look at that. I mean, you can still see a little bit of the...
it smells absolutely incredible.
It smells great, doesn't it? And you can see in the blender that the peel is pretty diced up.
Yeah.
It smells great, actually.
Did a good job.
I'm awakening. It's the orange and the citrus zest. Okay, so now we're going to add 2 cups of flour in here, and then also there we go, looking great. And then we need to make sure that we've got our 3/4 of a tablespoon of baking powder, because that's what's going to make the cake rise, right? So if you're using self-rising flour, you don't need the baking powder, which is great.
Okay.
You're nailing it, Kevin.
Look at this.
You know, and I'm actually impressed.
I
No
can-
flour
Kevin
on
can
that
measure.
wonderful navy sweater that you're wearing there.
Right.
All right, so we got the flour. We
Got the
need
flour.
3/4 of a cup of avocado oil. We added that in. We need to make sure that we add 1 cup of the sugar, which is somewhere around here.
Right here.
I think we've got some granulated sugar also off the camera. So we'll take a look and see.
Do we need granulated or powdered
We
on
need
this?
granulated.
Oh, for crying out loud.
You know what? We're going to use powder.
We're going
though.
to use powder today.
We'll see what happens.
It's what happens
It's
here
viral.
on
It's
TV.
TikTok,
It's
you
live
know?
TV.
It is what it is.
It's viral. One whole
It
cup?
is viral. 1 whole cup. There you go. And then you can also use the powdered sugar for later as well. So we'll see what happens. There we go. I
There we
I
go.
think that looks good to me. So we're going
Does.
to dump that in there.
Okay.
And then 3/4 of a tablespoon of baking powder. And then you don't want to just like do a real blend on it. You just need to kind of pulse it so that everything kind of gets mixed in. Because if
Tablespoon,
you
did you say?
3/4 of a tablespoon.
Right.
Yeah, just like that. Looking good. And then I guess if you pulse it or you blend it too hard, it makes the batter really dense and thick. So we're just going to lightly pulse this until it's all blended. That's what I'm hearing.
Nobody likes dense
Hey,
batter.
you know, if it's with a cup of coffee in the morning, I don't care what
Yeah.
the texture is like.
We got it.
It smells
We'll
delicious.
get this. It does smell
All right,
good.
so we're going to go ahead and luckily we've got this handy dandy dough button on our blender.
Okay.
And we're just going to blend it a little bit. Nice and low. While we're letting it blend, you know, you were in sunny Florida, so does this smell like Florida?
It smells like Florida. The Sunshine State.
The sunshine and, in my opinion, the citrus state.
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look and see how it's looking. Yeah, looking pretty good. We're going to just do a little bit more. You know what I love about this cake, speaking of Florida?
What?
You know, my grandparents used to live in Florida. And I
Okay.
spent a lot of time going to orange
Picking
groves
oranges.
and picking oranges.
Picking oranges.
Fresh pressed
I
orange
can
juice.
tell your hair and your skin
Yes,
tone.
that's why my hair is
Yeah.
red, because I ate a lot of oranges.
That's probably it. I think that's a fact. True.
All right. This batter is looking great. It smells great. So the next thing we're going to do, I guess, is line our cake loaf with parchment paper, or if you don't have that, you can use the avocado oil spray. So you pick parchment paper, avocado oil. I know. The pressure is on.
Using this.
There you go. Yep, you're just gonna spray the corner. At least that's what they're telling us.
Yeah,
So
that's
we're
what TikTok says, so that's what we're doing.
TikTok says. And yes, I have been consulting my phone with TikTok as we've been going through this recipe.
Okay.
We're gonna go ahead and then we're just gonna scoop it into the pan, and we've got a couple extra oranges.
What do we preheat the oven to?
We preheated the oven to, it depends on what recipe version you're looking at, 180 degrees Celsius. Whoa. Or, which roughly translates to about
Temperature math.
350.
Yeah. Okay.
According to Google.
Got it.
According to the
TikTok,
worldwide
Google.
interweb. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and actually just clean this off really quickly, and then we're going to dump the dough. And it's okay if we've got one small loaf pan, but you know you can make this. This is basically, in my opinion.
When do we zest?
We zest if we want to make a frosting.
Okay.
If we want to, or you can just kind of zest on top. I think we should just sprinkle it with some powdered sugar when we're done cooking.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Got to keep it simple.
live
right?
TV.
It is live TV. All right, so we've got that, and then we're just going to pour it in about 2/3 of the way up to the lid, because it is going to rise because
I'll
of the
pour it,
baking powder.
you scrape.
All right, I'm going to make sure we don't over pour it, because then it's going to explode in the oven there. But
So how far up do you go? How far does this
I would
rise?
say about 2/3 of the pan you want to fill, and then you know, that's why if you did the parchment paper, Kevin, if it rises a little bit above over, it stays in its shape. I think that looks great to me. And then anything in excess, you can make mini loaves. Why not? Right?
Mini loaves, why not?
Yeah, who likes a
Get a little muffin pan.
little muffin pan, which we do have, and we'll do that later. But
Have you seen the muffin man? Do you know the muffin man?
I do know the muffin man. Do you know the muffin man, Kevin?
No, I don't.
All right, so I like to do this just to kind of level it out a little bit.
Okay.
But man, it smells good.
It smells delicious.
It smells fresh. I think my senses have awakened, just like my mind.
Okay.
And here we are. We're ready to
Let's pop
ready
it
to
into that
party
180 degrees Celsius oven.
or 350 degrees.
Okay.
And then you bake it for about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on your loaf size, depending on how hot your oven actually is. Because did you know, fun fact, your oven is not necessarily as hot as it says it is. So you try to preheat it as long as possible. Yeah.
That's why sometimes people put a little thermometer in there.
That's exactly
so you
right.
can actually see.
You know, so that's it. So here we are. We baked a cake, a loaf a
Okay,
pound
45
cake.
minutes.
35 to 45.
35 to 45. So you got to stay
monitor
tuned
it,
for a while to see the outcome of this.
and we'll show you how it turns out. The viral whole orange blender cake. It's pretty great. I think you could probably cheat with this one if you wanted to and use a regular cake mix. But I'm so glad we did.
Why would you?
Exactly.
Why would
it
you?
was easy.
And it's fun. This was kind of a fun thing to do.
It was fun.
I was a doubter.
You were.
Doubting Kevin on this one, but I tell you, the aroma coming out of the oven, and I took a
true.
peek, and it looks great.
Well, Kevin, have I ever steered you wrong in any recipes there?
Just twice. Just 2 times.
Just 2 times. You know what? 2 times is better than 3 times. So let's take a look at it. So if you wanted, like I've heard, if you wanted to cool the cake first and let the drizzle kind of settle on top without it soaking into the cake, then you like let it fully cool before you put it on. But I love to have like that delicious like
It's got to be warm.
frosting kind of melted into it. So it looks great. I love that you flipped it over on the cutting board and not on the plate that we have sitting here, Kevin.
Well, you do this. So now it's right side up.
There we go.
Doubting Kim. You know,
today
this
is that
is a
kind of
professional production.
It is.
And we got to look
shouldn't be
at.
laughing at our colleagues.
Now, so putting our homemade little glaze thing on here, we've zested 1 orange. We put a little bit of vanilla extract, a little bit of the orange extract in there, some powdered sugar, stirred it up. So that's good to go.
It looks great, and then obviously you want some sort of milk to blend
that
it all
coconut
together.
milk.
We used coconut milk, which is dairy free. Obviously, I think this whole recipe is dairy free, so it's going to be a great one to have with coffee when we're done with the show here. So we'll go ahead and put a little bit of drizzle on it. And
Okay,
then,
now one thing I like to do when I drizzle is I'll usually take and I'll cut down about 1 inch into the pieces.
It looks delicious.
And then I like to drizzle on top with the slices in.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's
because
how
this way you get it down into the cake a little bit.
That's exactly how I apply my butter to my baked potato.
Oh, it is not.
It is. I slice it down. I got that from my dad. Oh my gosh, it looks delicious. And then if we wanted to add a little bit more powdered sugar to it, you can. But we've got some here just in case. But man, oh man, that looks incredible.
Delicious.
Is it time to cut into it?
Try it.
I'm going to try it. We've got the
There you
knife.
go.
I'm going in. Okay, I'm more of a centerpiece, but a center kind of slice girl, but I'm going to
And I know the viewers cannot smell this, but it is incredible. It just smells amazing.
Honestly, it reminds me of summer and springtime, and man, this would be a great, I'm just going to have a small little piece
Have
here.
a small little piece.
Here we go. 3.
Oh yeah, that says it
Wow.
all. That face speaks volumes.
It's moist. I know that we use powdered sugar, not regular sugar, but I tell you what.
Maybe
it's the
that's
perfect
that's something you change. You don't want it too
perfect
sweet.
amount of sweetness. It's so good. It's light. It's fluffy. And it's definitely got all of the moisture in it that we need. So it's a perfect breakfast cake or anytime cake.
We're gonna dig into this and be right back with more.
Good morning, Vail.
TVA Vail is proud to announce the Wacky Winter Reading Program. We're asking children of all ages, K and even the teenagers going up to 12th grade, read 10 books or 1,000 pages by April 30th, 2025. You can find all the details on our website, tva8vail.com. Thank you to our sponsor, the lovely Eagle Valley Library District, where you can go pick up your book and have a great time. Have a great winter from your friends at TVA Vail.
Daily Flash.
I'm Andrea Jackson.
I'm Mitch English, welcoming you to
Mitch English and Andrea Jackson have co-hosted together for over a decade. And now, only on Daily Flash, they serve up a fast, fun, fresh perspective on the day's trending news and entertainment. Daily Flash offers the latest in pop news, celebrity gossip, fashion, health, wellness, and even some unscripted, irreverent, who knows what's next fun. Daily Flash with Mitch English and Andrea Jackson. Trending news and entertainment.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back, America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
Welcome to Street Magic. I'm Elizabeth Stanton with some of the most terrifying stunts, extraordinary extreme escapes, and the most amazing cutting-edge magicians you'll ever see in one show. Get ready to have your mind turned inside out. The hand is definitely quicker than the eye.
It's fake.
I'm Danella Richard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits. Woo. Eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
Each week on The Tech Show, you can look forward to the latest in technology and how you can use it too. We'll also chat with leading experts, and you'll find out if the latest gadget will take my money or not. Don't miss The Tech Show. Tech your local listings.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome into the TVA Weather Center on this Thursday morning. 16 degrees at 8 a.m. to start the day. We had a beautiful cotton candy sunrise this morning, but we'll see a high of 38 today. 20% chance of snow and some decent winds, 10 to 20 miles per hour today. Into the hourly, things really warm up around noon to 35 degrees. Cloudy and partly cloudy skies throughout the day today, before those temperatures come down at 8 p.m. to 31 degrees, but lots of clouds expected today. And into the I-70 corridor here. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at that I-70 corridor here. Eagle, a high of 44 today. Avon, 41. Vail, 38. Denver, 59 degrees today. We have lots of traffic on these roads. Slow it down, give yourself time. And tonight we have a low of 21 degrees, 60% chance of snow showers. Sunset at 7:18 p.m. with those winds still 10 to 15 miles per hour tonight. And into this rest of this week and into the weekend. Tomorrow, Friday, mostly cloudy skies with a high of 39, warming up a little bit. Saturday, the next storm rolls in with a wintry mix, a high of 41, low of 27. Sunday, another pretty warm one. Lots of clouds coming in, guys, until next week. We start hitting the 50s on Monday and Tuesday, and that weather starts to turn a little bit. And that's going to be the weather. If you're traveling, give yourself plenty of time. Thanks so much for tuning in to Good Morning Vail today, and we will see you tomorrow.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
I'm Amy Goodman, host of Democracy Now! Our independent news hour offers diverse perspectives and unique opinions, often unheard in the mainstream media, live as the news unfolds. Tune in for Democracy Now!, the War and Peace Report, weekday mornings at 9 and evenings at 6 on TV8 Vail, Comcast Xfinity Channel 92. There's more for you on Channel 92.
Stevie Lee Woods presents Nashville Roadhouse Live, where country meets rock and roll.
It's where I drank my first beer, where I found Jesus, where I wrecked my first car, I tore it all to pieces. Join us every week for more live performances right here on Nashville Roadhouse Live.
This show looks at anything that has an engine and a story told by the owners. This is a scooter. Have you had it the whole time?
I have not. It's actually the third time I've owned the car.
Sell, regret, sell, regret.
to the actual prototype GT40. I got to sit in that car.
Oh, I gotta get me one of these, man.
We've got all the muscle, the speed, and the stories.
I got stage 4 cancer. A bunch of friends came together and decided if this thing needed to get done then. A lot of friends came together and made this thing happen.
Hey, if it has an engine and a story, you're going to hear about it on rides. Almost every vehicle, doesn't matter what walk of life you're from, there's some tie to your past.
You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
From New York, this is Democracy Now!
We should all be concerned about the attacks on our First Amendment and lawsuits like this that really threaten our rights to peaceful protest and free speech.
A jury in North Dakota has ordered Greenpeace to pay more than $660 million in damages to the company behind the Dakota Access Pipeline over Greenpeace's role in the indigenous-led protest at Standing Rock. We'll speak with environmental lawyer Steve Donziger, who monitored the trial. Then we go from attacks on the right to protest to attacks on press freedom.
These networks and these newspapers are really no different than a highly paid political operative, and it has to stop. It has to be illegal.
As President Trump accuses the press of engaging in illegal activity, we'll speak to New York Times editor David Enrich, author of the new book, Murder the Truth, Fear, the First Amendment, and a Secret Campaign to Protect the Powerful.
What's at stake isn't just press freedom, it's the freedom of anyone who has an opinion or wants to speak truth about